Private Lender Podcast, episode 125.
The Private Lender Podcast quote of the day comes to us from Confucius, who said...
From who?
Confucius.
So, it's from Confucius?
What is it? What is it?
Confucius.
This is the Private Lender Podcast, the show that shares practical advice and know-how for new and seasoned lenders, from private mortgages on single-family houses to joint ventures on commercial projects and beyond. Discover details about investment vehicles that you won't find at your local bank or online broker. Listen and learn from private lenders and real estate investors, as well as from professionals and entrepreneurs, as they share the details, strategies, and the insight that allows for successful and prosperous lending. Now, get ready to increase your ROI. Here's your host, Keith Baker.
Hello, Lender Nation. Greetings from the laughing stock of the professional sports world. That's right. I'm talking about Houston, Texas. And welcome to episode 125 of the Private Lender Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Baker, and I'd like to thank you for sharing your time with me today. If you're looking for practical tips and advice on private lending and how to keep your money safe, then you're in the right place. But if you want to learn from my mistakes so that you can both avoid them and profit from them, well, then pull up a chair and pour yourself a drink, my friend, because this podcast is just for you. This podcast is dedicated to giving people just like you and me the knowledge and confidence to participate in the most passive form of real estate investing known to man, private lending. And it's why we're here. So anyhow, it's been a crazy few past weeks. Not a whole lot of episodes been going out. Apple made some changes, got some notifications. This may have happened. This might not have happened. As far as I can tell, everything was fine. But as far as with the podcast not being distributed properly, I didn't see any issues, but I kept getting emails from various folks about it. So I understand the bugs have been fixed and that Apple is, merrily going on their way. And I'm very excited. If you can't tell, I'm just blabbing away because I have a lot of I want to cover with you guys. I've been quite busy traveling around the southern United States, both for the job that pays the bills, the insurance gig, but also been expanding the real estate side of things, not only the network, but the opportunities and learning who the players are, where they are, and, finding ways that I can hopefully help them and help you guys, bring you guys together and so you can do your lending safely. They can use the money for their projects. And it's like I say, I want everybody to have a win-win-win situation, but it doesn't matter where I've gone. Like I said, it has been mostly in the southern United States, but it's the same story wherever I go. I ask somebody, how's the real estate market here? And it's on fire. It's like just bananas on fire. Crazy. And I was listening to a podcast, flipping through some podcasts, and it came up from one that the National Association of Realtors puts out. And they gave out some of the following statistics that 99% of markets that they monitor are, basically the United States. 99% of those markets have had substantial year-over-year price increases. Now, that's really not surprising when you consider that COVID 2020 sort of put things on hold, at least initially, but then it really turned things around. And as people staying at home more, we've heard that folks are doubling down on Manhattan real estate because it's taking a hit, but everywhere else, man, it's just boom, crazy. Seller's market, multiple offers, bidding wars on the retail side. And, and then, 99% of the markets are up and 90% of markets, 90%, have witnessed double digit year-over-year price increases. So is it a bubble? It looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but it may be a little duck, maybe a little duckling right now. But I'm not calling a top, that's for certain, but all I'm saying, it's crazy out there. And all I'm saying is just keep your eyes and ears open and keep your money safe. And I'm really keeping an eye on that inflation data. That's when I know it's going to get real and people are going to start coming back in and looking at things such as real estate and asset-backed investments. So anyhow, and since it appears like every market is frothy except for the labor market. Anyway, so given that it appears every major market is frothy, real estate, stock market, crypto, raw materials, I figured with everything just going crazy, I just jump in and get some of that action myself. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and get down to the brass tacks of today's very short episode, into the heart of it. And that is the following announcement. I want you to mark your calendars, because the Private Lender Academy will officially launch on July 4th, 2021. Yep, I'm making this announcement. I'm proclaiming it to God, the universe, the gods of Olympus, and everybody out there, to provide me the focus and stamina to actually get this thing completed and get it done and get it launched. I'm nervous. I'm a little stressed, but I'm extremely giddy, as the Private Lender Academy will break down the same process that I've used to fund deals for real estate investors, and lay it all out in 5 steps or lessons or modules. And in those modules, not only will I talk about my mistakes, but I want to show you how I made them and how you can avoid them with your money and keeping your money safe. So for more information, you can simply go to privatelenderacademy.com. And if you're interested in being notified of pre-launch specials like free group coaching calls, or perhaps some limited time price reduction codes, coupon codes, or having me personally help customize your lending criteria, or looking at deals, or if you want to attend networking events with investors, live or virtual, I plan to have some of those here in the next coming months, shortly after the weeks after the launch. Then just go ahead and click on the Apply Now button over at privatelenderacademy.com. And from there, all you do is you'll provide some basic information and tell me a little bit about your investing style and experience, and then we can set up a time to discuss what would best fit your needs. If you're in California, what does that mean? All right, or if you're in New York and you want to lend elsewhere, if you're in a lender-friendly state, then this will be a good conversation to sort of pick out what you want to do and your timelines and everything else. Happy to help you guys mold your criteria. And like I said, we'll just set up a quick call to see what fits your needs best. Maybe you just get the course and run through and go do your thing. That's great too. I'm trying to design it for that, but then have sort of the backdrop to coaching if somebody needs it or wants to, like me, I wanted my hand to be held through the process. So I want to provide that as well, as much as I can to you guys. So remember, July 4th is the day. privatelenderacademy.com is going to drop, as the cool kids say. And while we celebrate this nation's independence and birth this year, I pray that I can help others find yet another way to profit and protect their wealth and legacy, and to open their world to so many other possibilities, not just with private lending, but investing in alternative investments, creative financing, and cool things about life like mindfulness and awareness. So anyhow, it is my mission to create 1 million private lenders from the COVID casualties of 2020, and to create a community where each one teaches one. And ordinary people just like you and me can safely profit while driving a major sector of the American economy. It's a great way to feed the entrepreneurial spirit of humankind and America, and I hope you'll join me on the journey from here. All right, that's going to do it for episode 125. It appears that the easy button to private lending has broke, so give me a little time and I'll make sure that technology is functioning and get you started and on your way to profit with protection. Also, make sure to join the Private Lender Podcast Facebook group to connect with other private lenders and be a part of the growing community. You must answer the questions in order to be granted access. Just remember that. I just want to let you can follow instructions. That's all. And to learn about, are you accredited? Do you have $5,000, $50,000, or $500? That makes a big deal on the difference on what you can get into. So anyhow, please answer the questions to get into the Private Lender Podcast Facebook group. And here's the deal. I don't charge or receive any money to produce and distribute this show. And I would be extremely grateful. How about that? I mean, it would mean the world to me if you could help get the word out and increase awareness of the show by leaving me an honest rating and review over at iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever platform you're using to hear my voice. It's a small but quick request. And if you don't do that, if you could just forward the show or hit it from forward one of the posts on Facebook, I'd greatly appreciate that. And it'll go to erase some of your negative karma. At least that's what I'm going for. So we're going to go with that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Wrapping up episode 125, announcing I'm finally launching the Private Lender Academy. And I look forward to seeing where it goes, seeing what we can do with this. And I'm tired of talking about it. I'm ready to put it together and launch it. So besides self-awareness, I wish everyone safe and successful private lending. And I'll catch you on the next episode.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Private Lender Podcast with your host, Keith Baker. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit privatelenderpodcast.com. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review, and we'll catch you next time.